Hello and welcome to another episode of
The English Couple.
English Couple. Not actually there in this episode because we're editing on the road, as it were. So I haven't got all the amenities that we normally have, but welcome.
Welcome back to another few minutes of us blathering and showing you what we've been up to.
Yes. Firstly, let's get out with the disasters of the week. We've had more sun and no rain. And we've had sun now, what? It feels like we've had sun...
40 days and 40 nights, I think someone said recently.
Yeah, it feels like forever.
Feels like.
And I've been down to the potatoes, to the earlies, first earlies, to try and get some out. Sorry about any wind on the microphone, by the way. I haven't got the fluffies on, but we'll do the best we can. And pretty much half of the earlies, which is quite a large bit, it's about
Section, yeah.
8 foot by 4 foot, something like that, has yielded not much more than what's in this bucket. I mean, some of them are nice, you know,
Big, beautiful.
big, beautiful ones, but there's many titchy tiny ones, and there's many more tiny ones that I haven't even bothered to take out because they're not even bite size. And I think one of the problems is we spotted a rabbit heading in that direction one morning. And I think rabbits, we hadn't seen rabbits before, but I think they've been munching them. And many of them that are on the surface that have been dug out have nibbles in them, which makes them unpalatable really, because you don't know what the rabbit's got. May have got its toes all mixed up. So that is a bit of a shame. These, by the way, are Red
Duke of York.
Yeah. So that's a lovely one. If only they'd all come out like that.
Oh, don't chuck it.
Sorry.
Don't bruise them.
So that's been a bit of a learning curve, but we knew really once we'd put them in that we were putting them in a bit too close together. That's one thing. And when we were doing this, and it's our first year of course, mounding them up, we didn't have sufficient
muck or soil or
something that was friable, tilth, you know, nice
substance for the structure of the build-up around them.
And of course, watering them has been a problem because they're right down the other side of the field, and we're carrying the water. We didn't know how much to water them. We've been watering them morning and night, but the water is just not penetrating because there is no relent in this sunshine. But the good news is we've got a hell of a lot of material for the compost for next year.
Got to look for the positives. The silver lining in the rain cloud.
However, we have been eating them, the ones that have come up, and so there was probably about as many again so far, and there's about a third of the earlies left.
Oh yeah.
You can see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's probably not worth eating them all. And of course we were hoping to give them to family and friends, which is why we planted so many. And you know, you're always going to lose a certain percentage of them. And
more so when you're new to it.
Yeah.
So
we're learning. So although it's a disaster in some respects in terms of what we might have anticipated.
But in lessons learned, it's been an absolute raving success.
And so I have a feeling that we might plant some next year, fence them off, but also do pots, because I've seen videos of people doing pots and they always seem to come out very easily. What we need to get on top of is really getting a lot of our own compost, or buying in a sizable portion of compost.
To get us kick-started properly.
Because the earth here is lovely, but it's just full of...
It's just riddled with roots that aren't helpful when you're trying to grow other things.
The other thing is, of course, that we put cardboard down because we saw everyone saying put cardboard down, and then we put everything on top of that. The cardboard is still there.
And with the matted roots underneath, it's impenetrable.
Yeah.
So we'd have done better just to remove what roots we could.
Sorry about I'm just going to move my microphone down here. Sorry about the noise. This is not as... just to get rid of some of that wind.
And then to have put the plants in just on the earth and mound them up after that.
But the thing is, we're learning. So next year, I anticipate us being a bit better. But you do see videos of people coming up and saying, oh, we've had a good year. So it'd be interesting to know how other people have got on.
Yes.
However, so that's that. We just sort of get the negative bit out the way, right? The rest of it has been pretty good week, hasn't it?
Yes.
Well, we do have one very sad part, but that's not a disaster. It was expected, but we'll tell you that when it comes to it.
Yeah, yeah. But, so what else? Well, we've got tomatoes in the ground. We've been training the tomatoes and cucumbers that are in the big poly up their guides and their ropes and things.
I do something with a particular plant that I put into my pipe and smoke. That's coming up. And we've discovered that something that we take for granted and is in people's salads is actually known as a bog plant.
Yes.
That's coming up. So sit back and watch this edited on the road without all the niceties that we normally put in, a basic version.
Back in the veg patch, we have pulled up the onions, which we haven't actually eaten any yet, but some of them are looking very good. Others are a bit small, and we've been discussing pickling them, so that will be lovely. I do love a good pickled onion. So the remaining of the sandy Wiltshireman tomatoes have managed to find their way into the ground at last, and they are looking much happier. They were the ones that were in one of the grow bags on the floor as the experiment. Didn't like that experiment. The other bag got potted up, but these ones, the roots had become too enmeshed. So anyway, they stayed there, but now they're in the ground where the onions were. So we also have 6 more new tomato plants, which were very, very kindly given to us from Mark, our dear friend, the bowler hat farmer. So they're going to go in next to it. As you can see, they are slightly overdue, shamefully, but I'm hoping to rescue as much of that root system as possible. Usually slides through quite nicely. I've already lined them up for spacing, so if I just dig a little bit of a hole there, and I'll pop the plant in and then bank up around it with some ready-made compost, because still our compost, although Richard's been very, very, very hard at work on it, it's still not really gone anywhere. One bit is, but that's a long story. We'll come to that another time, I'm sure. Let's see if I can tease it out. We might lose some of the roots. Oh, look at that. It's the Rapunzel of root systems. Right, for the sake of it, pop that in there. Around. Then I'll get a cane in a minute. Tie it up to. Not the best arrangement here, but we'll manage. There's a bit more around there. Okay, now where's my cane at? Here. These canes were the ones that held up the onion, not the onions, the peas, which are now also already up and out of the ground. Well, we've left the roots in the ground, but the stalks are gone and the peas are being dried for next season. Right, where's my string? Find the end. It's ever the problem, isn't it? Should have done this off camera, but never mind. It's here somewhere. Huh? Ha-ha! Ta-da! There we go. Cut a length off. Ooh, my knees. Just give it a little loose tie here, I think. Maybe wind it a little bit. I think that's too much string, but we'll deal with that in a moment. There we go. that bit in a minute. Ah, good. Fantastic. 1.
One of the jobs that we've been working on this week, well, the last few weeks, and you would have seen some of it, is pulling out the dead trees that have fallen in this area. There was brambles initially, and then in amongst the brambles were all these tree trunks. And you would have seen, if you'd seen previous episodes, where the tractor came in, and let me just adjust this, and the tractor came in and we pulled out the trunks. Well, some of them were fallen and were so ensconced in brambles and trees were around them, it was difficult to actually physically pull them out. The tractor also has a topper on the attached to it at the moment, and the topper is something to cut the grass. Well, we realised, having given it a test, which unfortunately we didn't film, I've decided not to keep the topper in the end, because by the time we get the extra beds that we're thinking of putting in and what we're doing here, there's not going to be a huge amount of grass, so we'll stick to our mower and probably the strimmer just to keep on top of that, because it's been too difficult to weave the thing round all the little fruit trees, beds and veg patches, and all of that. So that will go. So, but because the topper is on the tractor at the moment, and I'm just waiting really to get that back to its owner before I say unfortunately no thank you, I've decided to, these fallen trees, just chainsaw them into smaller chunks, pull them out as best I can using the clipper to get rid of all the brambles that have, the tendrils are all sort of gripping it, and as you can see, I'm wheelbarrowing them into what has now become an impromptu log pile. Now, these logs ordinarily would be ideal for the fire, for the wood burning stove, and they'll go in there, but they're incredibly dry because they've been on the ground for a long time. And these trees you see around me, eventually they have got to go, because they're getting really well past their sell-by date. They're old, some of them are dying, some of them are falling, and it's dangerous, so we'll need to get a shot of some of those. Although on a day like today, which is another blistering hot day, but there's a wind, they do make a nice windbreak, although I'm actually valuing the wind at the moment. And then in this area, the plan is, as we mentioned before, some sweet chestnuts, some hazels, but also some heritage apples. And we'll probably buy them as little trees, I imagine, and get them in, so we can get some heritage apples for, won't be this autumn, but for the next autumn. And that's something else that we love. We love our trees, so this has become, I suppose, by definition, a little woodland, albeit these spruces, as I say, I've got to go. So we'll get rid of these and put in some others, as well as all the oaks that we've been repotting everywhere. And just in front of me, we have the only example I've seen here, and that is burdock. And so when I was clearing the area, I kept that because it would be nice to have some more burdock. We all know, of course, that you can make that drink out of burdock. And this stump is actually the bole of a tree. And I didn't pull this out with the tractor. It was where a fallen tree had come over like this, and it was upright. Well, it wasn't upright, it was on its side. So I got the chainsaw, having after knocked out all the earth between the roots, chopped all the way around it, and now, as you can see, it's quite a nifty thing. When it's levelled at the bottom, I think it would make a nice little table. Could put a flat surface on here, level this up, and it would be very nice. We're running out of flat surfaces. Great for either sitting and having lunch, or indeed for preparing seeds outside, or pots, various things. So it's a natural thing, and I think its place is here. So that's another little task, another little job to think about doing.
It's been a bit of a year this year. I started it with 3 senior female cats and 1 young male. But in March, I lost my heart cat. And she never quite made it here for a visit. But she rests here now. And it's lovely. This is in our peaceful corner, that we will do very little with, apart from this apparently. But just this weekend, we finally lost her daughter. She now lays here. So it's been a tough few days. But I'm so pleased that they get to be here, where I get to come and be with them and enjoy this beautiful place. It's hard having pets, but this is the price to pay for knowing the love and affection that they can give. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Anyway, whiskers on kittens.
It's hot work in the polytunnel. When I came out this morning, it wasn't so warm. This polytunnel is, it starts off in the sunshine, slightly shaded. So I've got a jumper on, as you can see. But now, as I've got ready to do the job I want to do, it's suddenly warmed up. And as you may be aware, Britain is, or certain parts of Britain, if not all of it, I'm not sure, has been suffering a heat wave for a long time. Anyway, I've got some, you may remember we were given some tobacco plants at Mark Byford, the bowler hat farmer's been looking after for us. And we got them the other day, and they've been growing hugely, but they're outgrowing the pots. So I have got, there's 9, I believe, or is there 12? No, it's 12, and I've got 6. I've done 6, and I'm repotting them. So there's a mixture of different pots. So I've got some big pots like this, and some smaller pots which I've been potting them into, and I'm going to be doing that. Because these are quite large pots, and we end up using a lot of the commercial, at the moment, the commercial compost. Our compost that we've been making, we haven't got a huge amount of it. Some of it, I think, is just about ready for us to use, at least as the base in these pots. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some into the base, transfer these into here, and then just top up with some of the commercial stuff. And so it'll have some sort of enrichment, which will be great. But the first thing I've got to do, I've noticed that there are little areas that you can poke out, I think, either with a drill or with a screwdriver. Otherwise, no water is going to escape, and we do want them to drain. So I think I'll just get my little drill and drill some holes in those, and then reconvene and start getting these pottings done. I think that's about it. Right, I think I'm about ready. So I've got the homemade compost over here. So I'm going to stick a little of that in here at the bottom. We've been having this going for, well, about 8 months or so. We have added to it, and it's not quite properly broken down, but I think it's okay. And then, as I say, we've got the commercial fine stuff. And you may say, what? I think that's all right. It doesn't need to be right to the top. You might say, what does it compose of? Well, pretty much everything, really. Anything green, anything brown, wood chips. Obviously, now that we're taking the potatoes out to eat, which hopefully will show you what they're like, the stalks of those, cut down stinging nettles where I've been strimming or pulling out or weeding. Basically anything and everything. No cooked food. Any human compost that we've had in the compost toilet, that goes in. Some people don't like the idea of urine going in there, and they have a mixed thing, but we've been told that that's not so bad, actually. There we go, look at that. That's pretty good. You almost can't tell the difference between our compost and this commercial stuff. I often wonder whether the commercial stuff is fully up to speed. Obviously, it's better if you know what you've put in your compost, because there could be all sorts of bulking agents or even microplastics and things. I'm not suggesting that the one that we have has any of that, just in case anyone says anything. But there we go. I think that's number one. These tobacco plants can grow up to 7 feet, I've been told. So I think I need to build a lean-to outside of this polytunnel, because as you can see, there's no more room.
In the veg patch, once again, I've got celery that I didn't get in the ground yesterday. So I'm going to do it today. I've recently discovered that, much to my non-surprisement, that they are bog plants, so they like to stay wet. I had worked that bit out, thankfully. But yeah, I think I'm trying to work out whether I can get away with putting 2 side by side, parallel, on each of these 2 lines, because we've got loads of celery. I need to get as many in the ground as possible, but I don't want to put them too close together to make it awkward for harvest or impede their growth too much. I think I might be able to get away with it though. Well, we can but see. This line is slightly thinner than that one, so that one will be easier to do. So I'll just get cracking and see how we go. Right, so I reckon about here, maybe there. But then again, so I've put some soil on it. And then press them in there. Put somewhere. 2. I'm going to put them in there like that. And like that maybe. 2. I might have to add more as I go and get them in there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Perfect. Try not to do mouth breathing, it's terrible. Right, okay. Here goes the tail. I need to get a little thing to kneel on. Protect my little knees. So, yeah, that wasn't too difficult considering they're all in one solid pot. Desperation is as desperation does, right? So, but that's actually pretty good timing. They are ready and not over ready to get these roots in. One. And 2 following right up behind. And I'm hoping this is far enough apart. Oh, I reckon it'll be all right. Grab another pair. And so it will go until hopefully I'll have 10 here and 10 there.
Well, there you go. I hope that was enjoyable today. Some goods, some bads, some sads.
Some uglies, some
And
beautifuls.
What are you talking about? You always say I'm ugly. That's just not fair.
You are a funny sausage.
There you
enough,
are.
yeah.
You see, I'm a funny sausage.
I can't say anything right.
You can. You can.
Oh, nothing works.
Aye, nothing works, as Cat Weasel once said. It does work. We're having a ball and we're enjoying it. Despite the endless sunshine, we do want some rain, but not 40 nights and 40 days of rain. Maybe 3 or 4 days just to get everything soaked. But please
Nice
don't
and
make
wet.
it boggy. Anyway.
Don't ask for much, do we?
No, we don't really. Thank you for watching. And we will see you on the next one, whenever that is. And, well, we'll see you then.
Take care and keep cool.
Yes. I must take my jumper off.
Yeah, I think you ought to. You're making me hot just looking at you.
Yes. It was cold this morning.
Yeah, it was chilly.
Right.
This morning. Chatty bye.
Bye. See you next time.